Good morning, my dear students. Welcome you all to this very first class of class 6. Today we are going to learn the very first chapter of class 6 English textbook, and the textbook name is Honeysuckle. And from this textbook Honeysuckle, we are going to learn the very first chapter, and the topic of the chapter is Who Did Patrick's Homework? So dear students, in this class I will explain you the summary of the lesson as simple as possible, so that it will be easier for you to understand. This lesson is written by Carol Moore. It's a wonderful chapter. Before going to summarize the lesson, let us know what is homework. My dear students, you are definitely aware about the word homework. And it is also found that when homework, the word comes into your mind, you feel something different. Some of you may like the homework, or for some of you, it may not be a good thing. It will be a boring for you, because you think that homework does not allow us to play. It only engages us in study. But my dear students, homework is very important for us, for the students. Our teachers gives us homework regularly, so that we students will read in the home regularly. There are many students who only comes to school, only sits in the classroom and notes down, but after going to home, they don't do anything. They waste their times by playing, by watching TVs and all. So my dear students, we should do our homework regularly. Homework helps us to gain knowledge. It helps us to know the things in details. Whatever we have learned in the class, if we do at home, then our concept becomes more clear. Homework prepares us for the exam. So, if we do homeworks regularly, we will never ignorant about any things. All the subjects we will be knowing well. So here in this lesson, you will have a boy named Patrick who did not like homework. Instead of homework, he loved to play games. But a turning point comes in his life, a magic happens. An elf appears in the story, and because of that elf, at last Patrick also turns into a good boy who did his homeworks regularly. So my dear students, this lesson, who did Patrick's homework, it's a fairy tale. I think you all know what is a fairy tale. Fairy tales are interesting as well as attractive stories. Fairy tales are also called magic tale as well as wonder tale, because in the story there happens some magics and wonders, and these fairy tales are unreal, these are imaginary. And in the fairy tales we may get the characters like witches, goblins, giants, elves, fairies, talking animals, and so on. So here in this story also we will have a character who is an elf. So now I would like to explain you the summary of the lesson. It is a story of a young boy of your age 11, 13 years of age. His name was Patrick. Patrick went to school regularly. He never became absent. But the difference was that he did not like to study and to do his homeworks. In place of study and homework, he played hockey, basketball, and Nintendo. Here the word Nintendo means, here you can see a video game. So most of the time Patrick played video game. And due to this activity of Patrick, his parents as well as teachers were worried about him. One day, his teacher warned him to study and do his homework regularly. Even he warned that if he will not do his homework regularly, he would be an ignoramus. Here the word ignoramus means an ignorant who knows nothing, how to read, how to write. But the suggestion of the teacher could not bring any change in Patrick. He did not care about the suggestions of his teacher. One day, when Patrick was playing video game in his room, he could see his little cat playing with a small doll. Patrick grabbed or took away the doll from the cat And when Patrick observed the doll from very near, he was surprised to see it was not a doll. It was a tiniest sized man. And he is an elf. An elf is a tiny sized man having magical powers. Already I informed you, elves are found in fairy tales as characters. He belongs to fairy families. The elf wore an old-fashioned cloth as well as a big hat. It yelled to Patrick for help. He promised Patrick that if he would save him from the cat, he would grant him a wish. Now Patrick felt very lucky himself. Here, all the solutions of his problems he got. So he said to the elf, he said he would help the elf in only one condition. If he would do Patrick's homework for next 35 days till the last semester. The elf agreed to do so. As he promised, that is why from the very day itself he started working. The elf had never gone to school, so he had no idea about the subjects like English, maths, science, human history, and all. The first subject he took was maths. He had never heard in maths about subtraction, addition, fraction, as well as timetables. So he needed the help of Patrick. Patrick had to collect the notes, resources from the libraries, to help the elf to do the homework. Even he had never heard about human history. So he said Patrick to bring books from the library and to read for himself. Now Patrick was in great trouble. He had to work harder than the elf. Earlier he got time to play, but now he had no time to play because most of the time he had to help the elf to do the homework. He had to wake up late. Even in the school he felt sleepy. Finally, the day 35 days was over and the elf went silently. Now no homeworks were left incomplete. When Patrick got A1 in all his subjects, his classmates were surprised to see those who earlier used to make fun of Patrick for not getting good mark in all the subjects. His parents felt proud of him. His teachers became happy and appreciated Patrick. Now, a new Patrick was born who did all his works by himself. His rooms also he cleaned by himself. He shared his help to his parents too. So in this way, Patrick greatly changed. But here the question was, who did Patrick's homework? So my dear students, it is clear that Patrick's homework was done by Patrick himself. But you will be surprised to know that Patrick never believed that his homework was done by himself. He believed that his homework was done by the elf. So this was the story of the lesson. So this story of the lesson has conveyed a beautiful moral lesson. And that is, hard work is the key to success. If we do hard work and do our works in time as well as regularly, then definitely the success will be ours. We will never get failure. Again, one more model we can say here, self-help is the best help. So we have to do our works by ourselves. We should not wait for anyone. We should not depend on others. Just like Patrick learned here to do his works by himself. He learned the value of self-doing. So my dear students, just like Patrick, we have to also do our works, whatever the works we have to do by ourselves. And if we will do so, definitely we will have a great success. So this was the entire summary of the lesson. So for today's class, that's enough. See you soon in my next class. Thank you.